A very good morning, students. So today we are going to start with the notes now. As you all know, the book explanation of the chapter has been already done. So we are going to talk about the notes now. Okay, so that you don't face any kind of difficulty in understanding these notes. Okay, now we are going to talk about permanent tissues here. See, the permanent tissues are composed of those cells which have lost their capability to divide. That means they cannot divide further now, like the meristematic cells which are continuously dividing. They have definite shape, size and thickness. The permanent tissues, they may be dead or they may be living. They are living, for example, like parenchyma tissues. They can be dead, such as sclerenchyma tissues. Now the division and differentiation of the cells of meristematic tissues, they give rise to permanent tissues. Differentiation means the meristematic tissues, they attain a certain size, shape and function, that is known as differentiation. The process is called as differentiation. Now in cell differentiation, developing tissue and organs change from simple to more complex forms to become specialized for specific functions. Now next comes your what next is your the cells of the permanent tissue, they lose the capacity to divide and attain a permanent shape, size and function. Now permanent tissues can be divided into two types on the basis of structure and composition, and those are simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. As we talk about the simple permanent tissues here, bacha, they are made up of same types of cells which are similar in structure and function. That means their structures will be same and their function will be same. Now these include two types of tissues: protective tissues and supporting tissues. Now bacha, what are protective tissues? As the name itself indicates, they are primarily for the protective. Their main function is to protect. Okay, now they consist of epidermis and cork or phloem. Now epidermis, as you can see the picture here bacha, these are your cork cells, and the upper layer is known as epidermis layer. Okay, now we are talking about the epidermis here. See bacha, epidermis form the one cell epidermis forms one cell a thick outermost layer of various body organs of plants such as leaf, flowers, stems and roots. See bacha, the outermost covering of the cell or the plant organs such as leaves, plant, stem, roots, flowers, they all contain an outermost covering layer that is known as epidermis layer. Now epidermis is covered outside by cuticle, which is basically a waterproof layer of waxy substance called as cutin, which is secreted by the epidermal cells. Its main purpose is to give the waterproof quality to the plants. Now cuticle is very thick in xerophytes. In xerophyte means the plants which are found in the plants which are found in the desert plants. Okay, now cells of the epidermis of leaves, they are not continuous at some places, and due to the presence of small pores known as stomata. As you can see here bacha, these are stomata, epidermal cell, and they are getting distracted or disturbed by the presence of some pores which are known as stomata cells, and these stomata cells are guarded by a pair of kidney bean shaped cells known as guard cells, and these are the only epidermal cells which possess chloroplast, and the rest be colorless. Okay, now we are going to talk about the function of epidermis layer. Now the main function of epidermis is, first, it protects the plant from the desiccation and infection. See bacha, it is the outermost covering present on the stems, leaves. So what is the desiccation means? From the See, it makes the plant the layer of the stems or tissues wet, so that they do not get dry easily. It also prevent the infection. See, there is a layer. See, you have skin on your body, right? So in order to infect the tissues inside the body of your cells, bacteria have to go through your skin, right? So basically it is protecting the internal organs or internal tissues of your cell. Same with the epidermis. Epidermis is the one that is protecting the plant from the infection, right? Next comes your cuticle of the epidermis. It cuts the rate of transpiration and evaporation of water and prevent the wilting. See bacha, what happens here? See, cuticles of the epidermis, it slow down the rate of transpiration and the evaporation. Now, stomata in epidermis, it allows the gaseous exchange to occur during the photosynthesis and respiration. As you all know, in photosynthesis, carbon gaseous exchange is required bacha, and that gaseous exchange takes place through the help of the stomata. Okay, now stomata also help in the transpiration. That means the evaporation of water from the surface of leaves is also takes place through the stomata. Now next comes your cork or phylum. Now bacha, cork and phylum are it in older roots and stems, tissues at the periphery, they become cork cells or phylum cells, and they are basically made up of dead cells with the thick walls, and they do not contain any kind of intercellular spaces, as I already told you in the book explanation of the chapter. Now cork is made up of dead cells, and the cell wall in cork deposit a waxy substance called as suberin. Now the suberin present in that, it helps the cork to become impermeable to the water and gases, which is known as impervious. Okay, now the cork of the cell are impermeable to water and gases due to the deposition of the suberin. If someone asks you why the cork is impermeable to water and gases, then the answer will be it is due to the deposition of the suberin substance, which make it impermeable to water and other gases. Now the cork cells are without any protoplasm, but they are filled with resins and tannins. Now the function of cork. See bacha, the cork is protective in function. Cork cells prevent desiccation, infection, and any kind of mechanical injury. Lightness, toughness, compressibility, elasticity, it make the cork commercially valuable. Okay, so cork is used for insulation also. Now insulation, because it is protecting the plant from, you can say, hotness or coldness also. So now cork is used in the making of a variety of sports goods such as cricket balls, table tennis, shuttlecocks, and wooden paddles, etc. Now we are going to talk about the spotting tissues. Now bacha, they are sportive in function, that's why they are known as spotting tissues. Now there are three types of spotting tissues, that is parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma tissues, it is basically a fundamental tissue. They are present in leaves, stems, etc. I will tell you the thing. See, now tissues, the first time tissue which evolved, it is a first time tissue. This tissue first time evolved in bryophyte. They are thin celled walls, oval or spherical in structure. Cell wall mainly composed of cellulose and pectin. Now large central vacuole, the parenchyma are basically used for storage of food bacha. That's why they contain a large vacuole for food and water storage, and its primary function is food storage, as I already told you. Now parenchyma can be of two types bacha. First, it can be erenchyma, it can be chlorenchyma. As the name indicate bacha, chlorenchyma means parenchyma with chlorophyll, right? So chloroplast. So chloroplasts containing parenchyma tissues are known as chlorenchyma, which perform photosynthesis such as mesophils of tissues. Now mesophil of leaves, they are parenchyma tissues. Now in hydrophytic plants, erenchyma is a type of parenchyma which contain air spaces in between them. They provide buoyancy. Buoyancy means they help the aquatic plants to flow on the water. Okay, now parenchyma, they provide turgidity to the cells. Now bacha, you can see the structure of the sclerenchyma tissue, parenchyma tissue, and as well as the collenchyma tissue. See, okay. Now next comes your collenchyma tissue. Now bacha, collenchyma tissue, they are the living mechanical tissues. They are elongated cells with thick corners, and they have cellulose and pectin. Because of them, they are thickened. they have thick cell walls. Now they provide flexibility to plant parts and easy bending of the various parts of the plant, such as tendrils. Right, I have already told you about this thing. Now they are present only in the herbaceous dicot stem. They are present at thin margin of leaves, and they in some of the Corynechyma few chloroplasts may be present. Now what is the function of this? See bacha, their main function is to provide mechanical strength and elasticity to the growing stems, as well as provide flexibility in plant parts. Now the last but not the least is your sclerenchyma tissue. Scleras means hard. These are the strengthening tissues. They are basically bacha dead cells, and there are no intercellular spaces between them, and they are composed of extremely thick walled cells with little or no cytoplasm. They don't contain any cytoplasm, bacha. As you all know, they are dead cells. They don't contain any kind of protoplasm. Now cells are dead and they possess very thick lignified walls, and lignified wall means they have a chemical substance called lignin in them, which is a waterproof material. Now intercellular spaces are absent. Cells of the sclerenchyma can be of two types: sclerids and fibers. Sclerids are what? Sclerids are also known as grit cells or stone cells. These are small cells where lumen is so small due to higher thickening of the cell wall. Lumen is the, you can say, the narrowness of the cell. Okay, so higher thickening of the cell wall as present in fruits such as mango, coconut and walnut, and in legume seed. Okay, now comes your fibers. Now bacha, they are very long, narrow, thick lignified cells. Lumen is as large as compared to sclerids. They are generally 1 to 3 millimeter long. Now in the thick walls of both the fibers and sclerites, there are present thin areas called as pits. I can show you the pits here. See bacha, these are the pits which are present in the sclerenchyma tissue. See bacha, this is your narrow lumen. This thing, okay, the diameter of, you can say that. Okay, next comes your, one second, yeah. So after that bacha, so fibers. So we were talking about the fibers. So sclerenchyma fibers. So in the thick walls of both the fibers and sclerites, there are present thin areas called as pits. I have already shown you the diagram bacha. Sclerenchyma fibers, they are used in the manufacture of ropes, mats and contain textile fiber. For example, husk of the coconut, they contain sclerenchyma tissues, and they are fibers from which you can make the ropes. Okay, so jute and coir are obtained from the thick bundle of fibers. See bacha, last but not the least is your difference between collenchyma and sclerenchyma tissues. See bacha, if we talk about the cell shape, parenchyma are basically isodiametric cells which are oval, spherical or polygonal in shapes. Collenchyma are circular, oval or polyhedral. Sclerenchyma are they are variable in shape, such as they can be long, they can be oval also. Cell wall, they are thin cellulosic cell wall. Fibers in collenchyma and even thickening in their cell wall. In sclerenchyma, they are lignified secondary cell wall. Right, cytoplasm in parenchyma, cytoplasm is in abundant. In collenchyma it is present, but in sclerenchyma it is absent. Now talk about the nucleus. Nucleus is present in parenchyma, right, because it is a living tissue. Same with the collenchyma, it is a living tissue, so it contain nucleus. In sclerenchyma it is absent because sclerenchyma are dead tissues. Now comes your vacuoles. Vacuoles present in parenchyma is a large vacuole, right? Collenchyma also contain vacuoles, but they are not as large as compared to the parenchyma tissues. And in sclerenchyma they are absent as they are dead cells, bacha. They need not to store the food. Next comes your intercellular spaces. They are present in parenchyma, as I already told you, bacha. Parenchyma contain large intercellular spaces. Collenchyma have intercellular species, but they are very little, or you can say they are almost negligible, so you can say that they are absent. In Sclerenchyma they are also, intercellular species are also absent. Last two are occurrence, where they occur. Parenchyma tissues, they are basically found in the packing tissue, such as all soft parts of the plant, such as pith, cortex and medullary rays, mesophyll cells basically. In Parenchyma present in dicot stems, petiole and beneath the epidermis. They are absent in monocot and roots. And now last, Sclerenchyma, they are dicot, hypodermis, bundle, sheath, pericyle, seed, pulp of fruits. Now function. See the function, the main function of the parenchyma tissue is food storage and photosynthesis, right? And the main function of Sclerenchyma is to provide tensile strength, mechanical strength, and tensile strength means flexibility. And last but not least, Sclerenchyma, they protect the plant from stress conditions and strain conditions, and they also provide mechanical strength. Thank you. Have a nice day. So this is done for the day. So today we have revised these topic: permanent tissues and their types, simple and complex tissues. And in simple tissues, today we have completed simple permanent tissues, which contain protective tissues such as epidermis and cork. And then we talked about supporting tissues, which are parenchyma, sclerenchyma and collenchyma tissues. Thank you. Have a nice day.